Man United, nil. Liverpool, nil. Steph, the realist.
The
The
realist.
realist. I
The
gotta call you
realist
Steph
one.
the
The
realist.
realist one.
I won't say the realist one, but the realist. You're the realist, yeah?
Take it.
How did we get through that game? We got a draw. We got something out of it. Talk to me.
I'll take that. I'll take a draw, definitely. I
Yeah.
think, you know, before the game, my prediction was a 2-1 win to United, but that was obviously with my heart.
I couldn't believe you said that today.
No, I was just living on a prayer. Bon Jovi. You did it. You did it. No, but in all honesty, look, I think I'm really happy with the fact that we soaked up all of that pressure. Liverpool had how many shots? 34? 34.
Yeah, 8 on target.
Yeah, 34 shots on target. Yeah, but that's like the most in years. Liverpool had the most shots on target in a Premier League match since us in like 2016.
Wow.
That's how much pressure we soaked up. And I'm not just talking about the pressure on the pitch. I'm talking about the pressure off the pitch, in the media, you know, pressure on Erik ten Hag. I'm very pleasantly surprised that we came out of that in a draw. And I think actually, if you look at it, the Liverpool and the Liverpool fans will be the ones who feel that they're the most hard done by.
Yeah, and the low, probably.
And the low. That was an absolute disgrace.
Absolutely.
Absolute disgrace. And I mean, I know we've all said it, haven't we? We all said it on the live match feed, but I mean, to not give, if you're going to give Dalot a red for that, then Darwin Núñez should not have been on the pitch longer than 10 minutes because he did that within 9 minutes. So,
do you trust Man United to still get the job done though if Darwin Núñez was sent off though? No. It probably worked out in our favour that he was stayed on the pitch. If we're being real, because we have to change, the expectation changes and we can't play. Like going forward, let's talk about the positives before we get into the negatives. Or do you want to do the negatives now and then hit it with some positives? What's the negatives?
Negatives. McTominay.
What about McTominay?
Please, somebody tell me why he was captain. Like, honestly. I mean, look, in my head, I would have just, if I was Erik ten Hag, I would have swallowed my pride, swallowed the bullet and given it to Varane. Varane was captain in pre-season when we had like no Bruno and no Casemiro. I do understand why Erik ten Hag didn't give it to Varane, but to me, giving the captaincy to McTominay made no sense. He was invisible on the pitch. He had the least amount of touches on the ball. He couldn't even control the ball, let alone pass the ball. Like, he was invisible. And I'm talking about invisible on the ball, but also verbally and communicatively as well.
I think he was. You don't think he had little moments where he was getting about the pitch, talking to players? He had. I don't know how many blocks.
One time.
Because if there's one thing he's gonna do, McTominay's gonna talk and speak.
Not even today. But that's what I'm saying. By McTominay's standards, by Scotty McTee's standards, he was a bit quiet today vocally. I thought the standout players to me who were being communicative.
Who are they?
Varane, standout player. But the thing is, just kept it simple. It wasn't like he was doing anything flash. He just did what I would expect a Man United player to do. Do you know what I mean? Keep a level head, keep composed, protect the box at all costs, track runners, which he did everything correctly. And to sum it all up, I know we're not at the end of this at the moment, but to sum it all up, I said it in the match as well. Resolute defence, erratic attack.
That's a great way to sum up Man United, to be honest. You know, I want to talk about one player that was really good defensively and probably is not going to get a lot of mentions. It's the guy that got sent off. Delo, what do you reckon of his game today? Defensively. He won all his duels, by the way. Aerial duels 3. I think he, clearances and blocks and stuff, 6.
Do you know what? I'm going to actually be fair on Delo because I feel like I do, ride his back a bit a lot of the time. I just think I always say that he's like, what is it, jack of all trades, master of none. He really filled Wan-Bissaka's boots today for the most part of the game. Yeah, defensively, I thought he was really, really good. But this is what I'm saying. This is how I feel. We're just so unbalanced. We can only do one thing. Do you know what I mean? Dalot normally attacks. He's normally better at attacking, and he neglects the defense. And in the game where we needed it, credit to him, we needed him to be more defensive. It's we have less attack down that side. Can we not have both? Can we not expect that of Man United players, that they can defend and attack?
Because you went up against, again, Diaz and Salah. They switched sides a couple of times as well, and they didn't get any change out of him.
No, but I think,
Not to overpraise him, but I'm just saying that he kind of stopped the flow of things at times.
I get that. But then I think if you look at the game in its entirety, and I'm not usually a stats person, but we nullified their threat because they had 34 shots and then the 8 on target. But I mean, and that's credit, don't get me wrong, that's credit to our defence, that's credit to Dalot, and he soaked up that pressure. But I'm just I was just hoping for a bit more.
Absolutely. I think it's fair. Attacking was garbage. Him and Anthony didn't know each other's names. They didn't speak the same language. It was insane. Let's talk about other things that you liked about the game more. If you want to talk about the manager, Ten Hag, and how he went into this game more. Things that you just noticed about Man United that you haven't seen in the last few performances.
I would say that I was surprised how he set up, like as in how he started the game, and how he set up. I think, obviously it's well known by this point that we don't win away from home.
Yeah.
We don't win against like the top half of the table. And I was half expecting Erik Ten Hag to get his players, put them out there, and go tit for tat, man to man, not even counter attack. I thought Erik Ten Hag was going to play his way and not sit back, not park the bus, but that's what we did, and I'm actually quite happy for it.
It was almost a kind of Jose Mourinho-ish performance. Can we build off this though?
Well, you never know with United. You just don't know. Like from one game to the next, we weren't expecting this. We weren't expecting a 0-0 draw, and I'll take it. But then our next game, our next match is West Ham.
West Ham, Aston Villa next.
Do you think that we're going to win against? Can you honestly tell me right now that we're going to win against West Ham?
Absolutely not. I couldn't say that. But then I feel that what we needed in this game was what we got out of it. I think the team has showed fight and determination and character in the Champions League fixtures, and they got done. But today's the first game where they've shown that, and they've been rewarded for it, if that makes sense. The hard work got a reward today with a point.
Yeah,
we don't usually get the point or whatever.
No, it's a hard-fought point. It's a well-earned point. I will say that. And I think one of the most going to the positives, moving to more positives, the players played for the manager. I think with all of this hoo-ha that's going on in the media, I think that the players put that to rest. I think they put that to bed. I think that they worked hard, tirelessly. We all know that some of these players aren't good enough. We all know that they should have been sold last summer. They should have been sold yesterday. But even though they're not good enough, they stood up to Liverpool. Fair enough, it wasn't Liverpool at their best. Do you know what I mean? Liverpool were misfiring, so it's kind of like it's half of one and two of the other.
But then were Liverpool misfiring because they were bad, or did we stop them from playing the game?
I think it was, like I said, half of one and two of the other. I really do. I think we didn't stop them in the sense that they attacked. They had the most shots, like they had so many shots. We didn't stop them in that sense. But when it got to the penalty box, or it got to our goal line and got to that area, that's when we blocked it. Which is why I go back to our defense was resolute, and our attack was erratic. All
right. So again, as you said, for Ten Hag and stuff, do you reckon this is how we'll set up in the games going forward against the big teams?
Yeah, I like the bit you added on the end. I said against the big teams, I think that this is how we should play moving forward. However, we know that it's probably going to be different because Ten Hag chose the players he played out of necessity, not out of choice today, because Bruno obviously was. Bruno was obviously unavailable for the game, and we've had other injuries. Martinez is out, Casemiro, all of this stuff. So I think Erik Ten Hag chose those players out of necessity rather than choice. However, I do hope that moving forward against those teams in the top six, that he does pick a similar team with similar tactics.
Wicked. Listen, thanks a lot. We moved. We got something out of the game.